Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Fox News Now. You are taking a live look at the beautiful White House at our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. It's a shot that we normally bring to you every day, but today, they'd kind of been bouncing around and we hadn't gotten to take a look at it. It does appear that they're possibly starting to take down the holiday decorations because, excuse me, along with the wreath there on the window, there was some garland that was hanging from like right on top of the columns there, or the pillars. Not quite sure what you want to call them. They were hanging from up there under the triangle there on the top part of the roof all the way down to like the lantern looking thing. So definitely looks like, yeah, they may be starting to take those down already. Hey, just want to let you all know, the reason we came up live right now was because we had a tanker crash happen in Massachusetts. We are waiting to get some more information about that for you and bring it to you if we need. And then also, Skyfox out of Los Angeles is heading to Anaheim, where we're told that there's a power outage at Disneyland. So if you've ever been to the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, you can only imagine what that's like. It takes electricity to not just operate the rides, but to cook food for people and all the little food carts. Not sure how they're hooked up to power, but I've definitely seen some of them using power. And so you have the rides, you have food, you've got all the stores, especially all the stores there on Main Street, USA. Can you tell I've been there before? So yeah, so we're just kind of on standby right now. Just wanted to let you all know that we are here. We are keeping an eye on a couple things happening right now. So we are here with you. Feel free to let me know where you're watching from. And remember, you know, since everybody says I like to fire off questions, I like to know how you guys heard about Fox News Now. And if you know, because we've been on air for a few years now, let us know how you first found out about us. We do read your comments here on YouTube, and we love hearing from you. So again, it looks like Chopper is getting close to Disneyland here. Skyfox out of the Los Angeles area. Keeping an eye on that for you. In the meantime, I'm going to take you guys over to a little traffic situation we're having here in the Phoenix area. This appears to be I-10 westbound at Baseline. So this looks like this is very close to Arizona Mills Mall. Possibly, I'm trying to look here. This looks like one of the I-10 ramps to get on right there. That's what that looks like there, but definitely it looks like we have a semi truck kind of on its side blocking traffic. We have what appears to be an Arizona Department of Public Safety vehicle there, right under the Baseline Road sign, you know, just trying to warn travelers. You see some people flipping U's there. Doesn't look like anybody's able to use that on-ramp. So if you're in the area, if you're not in the area yourself, let people that you know that this is kind of a traffic incident going on now. All right, we have the shot of Disneyland. Here we go. Okay, so, I mean, Disneyland is normally crowded, especially this time of year. But it definitely looks like crowds are out on like the main concourse more, not like in line for rides or in food lines and that sort of thing. Then again, remember, this time of year Disneyland is normally very packed. You can still see they have the holiday decorations up, and looks like we're getting close to the entrance and exit here right when you first walk in. On the right hand side, I still see people going in. I still see what looks like people sitting on the train there in the Disneyland building right above the Mickey. It's not really a flower mural, but it's an iconic thing that you first see when you walk into the Disneyland Resort. And then not seeing the exit though, not seeing a whole lot of people leaving. So keeping a close eye on this. Again, this is the power outage out of Disneyland in Anaheim, California. Right here is kind of where Main Street meets up in the middle of the park, and then you have the castle there. You see plenty of people. You see, the thing is even if the power goes out of Disneyland, there's still so much to see. Might not be able to do much. I'm not seeing the carousel move there. That's the Dumbo ride. I'm not seeing the Dumbo ride operating. You know, but there are some older rides that might not require electricity, like Storybook Land right there. I know that's like a little boat. Let me see here. I'm getting some more information. Let me see. I thought I was getting some info here. Still here with you all, trying to pull up the information that was just sent. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. A power outage at Disneyland is affecting several attractions and rides during the busy holiday week. Multiple tweets say that it's affecting about a dozen attractions in Toontown and Fantasyland. So like I said, I've been to this park plenty of times as an Arizona native. You know, it's just about a 5.5-hour drive away. So again, it's affecting several attractions and rides during the busy holiday week. Toontown and Fantasyland. So the Matterhorn there appears to be going fine. See the Matterhorn bobsleds. Yep, those are going. And so the park today is near full capacity. If you've never been to Disneyland, you can imagine how crowded and busy that is. So there's still stuff for people to see and do. Again, affecting Toontown and Fantasyland. If you know anybody there today who might be saying, hey, you know, what's going on? I haven't heard the news. Feel free to text, call them. Let them know that you heard the information on Fox News Now and suggest, hey, maybe you guys should subscribe to them because you can be alerted when they go live on YouTube too. And you can find out all of this information. Again, very fluid breaking news situation out of California, so we'll certainly keep an eye on this, let you know if anything changes. This is Los Angeles Sky Fox over Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, California. Out there, I don't know if you've never been, they also have, so there's the Disneyland Resort, and immediately across the street is California Adventure. We are not hearing anything so far of it affecting California Adventure, but what you can see in that far back left, right behind that 8-looking body of water, they are building the new Star Wars land at Disneyland. So not quite sure if this is, you know, affecting construction there. Some of you on the chat saying that you're not able to see our live feed right now. As far as we know, here on this end, we're looking at the entrance gate here at Disneyland. Tons of people still outside there in line. Believe Anaheim is an hour behind Arizona. Yes, so it's 1:11 p.m. over there. And again, park at capacity today. It's normally very busy during the holidays. Lots of people there. Again, we're being told that this is affecting Toontown and Fantasyland. Toontown is in the very back of the park. It's, well, I mean, depending on where you are in the park, like, let's say you start at the entrance and you had to walk. It's probably one of the furthest parts to walk in the park. And then Fantasyland is before Toontown. Fantasyland is where kind of all the younger children's rides are. So like you have Dumbo, you got the carousel, that's where like Peter Pan is. I'm trying to think of what else. Alice in Wonderland is technically a Fantasyland ride. You've got Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. But look, the parade is still going there. And you can see the bobsleds going there as well. So, you know, might not be at full capacity. Again, these images are from Skyfox out there in Los Angeles. So we don't have any control over if we lose the shot or anything like that happens. But it appears things are running smoothly. We don't see any sort of hiccups or anything like that. So just keep an eye on it though. Hey, let me know if you're on YouTube. Have you ever been? Hi everybody, thanks so much for watching Fox News Now. My name is Pilar Arias. I'm the newest member of the team. We've been having our YouTube stream going for about 15 minutes now, but I've heard we're on the Fox 10 Phoenix Facebook page. You are taking a live look at the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, California. That's Southern California. We are getting reports of a power outage that's affecting several attractions and rides during the busy holiday week. People are tweeting that the power outage is affecting about a dozen attractions in Toontown and Fantasyland. The park is near full capacity today, and as you can see there, the version of Skyfox in Los Angeles, the parade is still going on. We've seen the Matterhorn bobsleds there still operating, so you know there's still plenty of things for people to do in the park. I was just explaining to everybody watching Fox News Now on YouTube that if you were at the entrance of the park, Toontown is probably the furthest point in the park to walk to. There on the back left of your screen, they're actually building the Star Wars land, so not quite sure if the power outage is affecting construction there. See plenty of people still there on the, it looks like the steamboat right there, because you see the steam coming off of it. So, you know, this is a very fluid information situation. When we get the information, we'll let you know. But so far, speaking as somebody familiar with the park, when they went over Fantasyland, I did notice that Dumbo, the ride, is not operating and the carousel is not operating. In Toontown, I'm trying to think of this off the top of my head, you have Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. That's a major ride. So if what we're hearing is true, that this is affecting Fantasyland and Toontown, Roger Rabbit, I believe it's called Cartoon Spin. Like I said, everybody, this is coming off of memory here. And then there's like a little roller coaster as well in Toontown. Toontown is where the Mickey and Minnie houses are. So normally it's kind of like the character greeting area, you know, where you take your kids or yourself and you take some pictures with Mickey and Minnie. There are stores in Toontown as well. In terms of Fantasyland, you have the rides like Peter Pan's Flight and Sleeping Beauty or not Sleeping Beauty, excuse me, Alice in Wonderland. So here we go. Here's Dumbo, not operating. Normally you see the little elephants going up and down there, kind of like the rockets that are in Tomorrowland. A lot of people at the park today. Carousel also not moving. I believe Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is right there to the right, along with Peter Pan. Lots of people at the park. Parade still going on. All right, so here we go. I'm looking up some more information for you all.
92%.
Just finding out the park's at 93% capacity. Okay, so according to some information I'm looking up now, the Matterhorn bobsleds are considered a Fantasyland attraction, but we've seen them running. And then the Mad Tea Party, so the spinning cups are there. The carousel is actually officially called the King Arthur Carousel. It's a small world. It's considered a Fantasyland ride. So, you know, dining, shopping. In terms of Toontown, Mickey's Toontown, let's go. I want to make sure what I told you was right here. Yep, Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. That's where you meet Mickey and Minnie Mouse in their houses. And then Gadget's Go Coaster. That was what I was thinking of. So hey, if this is your first time watching Fox News Now, we stream on YouTube for many hours throughout the day. We have live streams across the world. We say across the country, but you know, this morning we got live video feed from Tel Aviv, so that was pretty cool when they were trying to break a world record for the world's tallest toy brick tower. So, like I said, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, head on over and subscribe to our YouTube. Again, this is their version of Skyfox out there in Los Angeles. And I hope they're not leaving. I've been recording on it, but I hope they're not leaving. Nope, they're just giving us a wider version, a wider angle, it looks like. They might be leaving, so I'm gonna take you to the White House here really quick while I pull up that tape that I just recorded. Getting the video ready. We are definitely going to continue talking about Disneyland, but we lost the Skyfox shot. So if you're with us on Facebook Live, we are still staying on the topic. I'm just getting the video ready to air. All right, everybody, we're switching gears really quick. President Trump is in Mar-a-Lago talking, so we'll try to bring that up for you.
Do you have any questions? The House and the Senate at the federal level passed the safer system for firefighter grant program. That should be coming to you soon. I just don't know if your opinion, is that a good thing?
Well, they just passed it, and it's coming to me, and it's a good thing. And you like it, right?
We love it, and we just appreciate it.
You know, one of the things that people don't understand, we have signed more legislation than anybody who broke the record of Harry Truman. And they were saying, if we get this big tax, because that's the legislation of all legislation, that's the biggest there is. And that included ANWR, as you know. And it included the repeal of the individual mandate, which is a disaster. That's where you have the privilege of paying a lot of money so that you don't have to buy health insurance. So that's the most unpopular thing, which most people thought should have been unconstitutional. But we repealed it, and we got ANWR, which is going to be one of the great drilling sites of the world, one of the great oil reserves. We had a lot of things. But we had a lot of legislation passed, and here's an example of something that soon will be passed and signed. So yeah, we're going to take care of you. I know you folks have been fighting for that for a long time. We had a lot of legislation passed. They were saying that if we got this one done, we would have succeeded with legislation. But I believe we have, and you have to ask those folks, but I think they know the real answer. We have more legislation passed including the record was Harry Truman a long time ago. And we broke that record. So we have a lot done. In addition, we have a lot of executive orders. We've got a lot of the rules and regulations. A few people suffered from that to a certain extent too, in all fairness. But a lot of the regulations were voided. And now you can go back to work and do your jobs. In the case of builders,
just want to let everybody know we have no control over this audio. It doesn't appear like the president is what we call mic'd up. He doesn't have a microphone on him, so we're listening as best we can.
We're very proud of that. Okay? That's one of the reasons the stock market is up, at a record level. It's a record level. We broke it 84 times this year. The stock market hit a new high 84 times since we won the election on November 8th of last year. So that's something we can all be proud of, and that makes you all look very smart. And your family say, boy, you're a great investor, right? When you have your numbers go up and your stocks go up and everything else. When the stock market goes up, that affects everybody. Not just, you think of the rich, you think of the big. The fact is it affects everybody because people own stocks, whether it's in 401ks or otherwise. So it's really great. Yeah, we'll get that signed. It's going to be signed.
We actually have 15 of those grant-funded firefighters from last year's grant.
Oh, good. You have 15 of them. You know what we're talking about? Hey, come on.
Congratulations, Chris. Come on over here.
That's great. I better sign it. Now I have no choice, right? I'll go back and sign fast, okay? So, again, continue doing what you do better than anybody in the world. We appreciate it a lot. And the safety and the lives that you save, incredible. Chief, thank you. And Chief, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, everybody, it appears that President Donald Trump is wrapping up there in Florida. He was just speaking with firefighters. He thanked them for the hard work that they do and told them to keep up the good work. See how long they hold this live feed up. All right, if we get anything new to share with you, we will certainly bring it to you. We're going to go back to the traffic situation that we have happening right now in the Phoenix area. This is I-10 westbound at Baseline Road. So it appears it's the on-ramp for Interstate 10. It looks like the semi stuck there. Might be causing some traffic headaches for people in the area. This is by Arizona Mills. So just want to let you all know. This is live footage near Arizona Mills Mall. Anybody out there doing some returns might see that. So DPS troopers, doesn't look like anybody can get on the freeway there. And matter of fact, it looks like the driver of this truck was trying to do just that. So right, everybody, let's get you caught up on some of the day's other headlines, like the FDA's food recalls.
The FDA can take months to recall foods that are dangerous to your health. A new bombshell Inspector General report says that the recall process for 80% of the nation's food isn't moving fast enough to make sure unsafe and hazardous products are kept off store shelves. The report says in some cases it can take up to 10 months for stores to stop selling food that's making people sick. The report released Tuesday by the Department of Health and Human Services reviews 30 different recalls. 23 were Class 1, which means the products could kill you if you consumed them. The rest were Class 2, which means the food is dangerous and could land you in the hospital for months. On average, it took 57 days for recalls to start, and that was after the FDA was aware that the food was not safe for consumers. The cases reviewed occurred between 2012 and 2015 before FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb took over. Gottlieb says these delays are deeply concerning and says letting unsafe food land in kitchens across America is the one thing that keeps him up at night. The FDA says there are reforms to speed up the recall process already in the works, set to go into effect early next year. Gottlieb says he will also ask Congress for authority to release the names of stores that are selling recalled foods, something the Department of Agriculture already does, but the FDA has not. In Los Angeles, Hillary Vaughn, Fox Business. The FDA.
All right, thanks so much for that, Hillary. Hey, so earlier today, if you were watching Fox 10 Extra, which is on Channel 45 if you have rabbit ears or digital antenna, cable channel 9, I showed you guys the procession for a fallen California highway patrolman. He was killed in the line of duty. Actually, you know, officers are saying that he was hit by a suspected drunk driver. So I showed you that procession. It came into Fox News Now pretty late yesterday. And, you know, anytime we lose a first responder, it hits home with a lot of people. And so that's why I wanted to show it to you. But we actually also had a bell ringing in his honor today. So I want to take a listen to that. All right, so this is not live. This was earlier. Again, this is for fallen California Highway Patrol Officer Andrew Camilleri, 33 years old. He was on duty and a passenger in a patrol car parked on the shoulder of Interstate 880 in Hayward, California, when he was struck around 11:20 p.m. Sunday, which was Christmas Eve. His partner, Officer Jonathan Velasquez, was in the driver's seat of that patrol car and suffered minor injuries. Velasquez has been released from an area hospital. I have a quote here from Assistant Chief Ernest Sanchez, who said the impact was so severe that it turned a utility vehicle into a very small compact vehicle. So it kind of gives you an idea the speeds that were involved in this accident. The 22-year-old Hayward man who drifted onto the shoulder and struck the officer's SUV was hospitalized. It is believed he was under the influence of alcohol and marijuana after driving home from a party, according to CHP officials. He is in serious condition and his identity has not been reported. Sounds like this video that we got from earlier this afternoon might have some audio to it. So, Officer Camilleri leaves behind a wife, a 12-year-old daughter, a 6-year-old son, and a 2-year-old son. So he leaves behind a wife and 3 children. He had been an officer with the California Highway Patrol for a year and 4 months. Remember, earlier today, I showed you the procession. Flags at the Capitol flown at half-staff in Camilleri's honor. A benevolence fund has been arranged at the California Association of Highway Patrolmen Credit Union. So we'll just listen in on this bell ringing in his honor earlier today. still here with you all. This video was shot earlier, not under our control, so hopefully they look like they're trying to get back to, there we go. Again, this is video that was shot earlier. We have no control over what the photographer is doing.
Good morning. My name's James Mann. I'm the Academy Commander. I want to thank you all for being here this morning to honor Officer Andrew Camilleri, ID 21653, of the Hayward area. Several years ago, the department initiated the tradition, the Bell Toll Tribute, to honor our officers who are killed in the line of duty. This tribute has its roots in hundreds of years of military and law enforcement tradition, and is intended to acknowledge the final end of watch of our fallen officer. I would like to introduce Acting Commissioner Warren Stanley, who will announce at the end of watch for Officer Camilleri.
Good morning. During the evening hours of December 24th, 2017, Officer Andrew J. Camilleri Sr. of the Hayward area was on patrol with his partner, Officer Jonathan Velasquez. At approximately 11:32 p.m., Officer Camilleri was seated in the passenger seat of their stopped patrol vehicle near the West Whitten Avenue on-ramp to Interstate I-80 southbound. An errant driver traveling on southbound I-80, for reasons unknown, allowed his vehicle to drift to the right and collide with the rear of Officer Camilleri's patrol vehicle. As a result of the traffic collision, Officer Camilleri suffered major injuries and was transported to St. Rose Hospital in the city of Hayward. Despite Officer Camilleri's courageous battle and the valiant efforts of first responders and medical staff, he succumbed to his injuries. Officer Camilleri was a part of Cadet Training Class 3 of 2016. He entered the CHP Academy on August 22nd, 2016, and graduated on March 3rd, 2017. Upon graduation, Officer Camilleri was assigned to the Hayward area. Officer Camilleri is survived by his wife, Rosanna, daughter Elizabeth, sons Andrew and Ryder, brother Matthew, sister Ashley, mother Sharon, Father Michael, and stepmother Kate. Officer Camilleri was 33 years old and a member of the department for just over 16 months. Officer Camilleri joins a selfless group of heroes who have sacrificed their lives for the safety, service, and security of others. We are forever grateful for his loyal and dedicated service and show gratitude to his family for their sacrifice. Andrew Camilleri epitomizes what a CHP officer should always be, a dedicated and selfless public servant. He will not be forgotten. It is my solemn honor to call the name of the California Highway Patrol's most recent hero.
Officers and cadets, on here! Present, huh!
Andrew J. Camilleri Sr., ID number 21653, Hayward area, end of watch, December 24th, 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our bell tribute for Officer Camilleri. Light refreshments will be served in the executive dining room. Thank you for joining us here today. Your presence is meaningful demonstration to the Camilleri family of what Andrew meant to all of us. Sergeant at Arms, will you please dismiss the quad?
Company commanders, take charge of your companies. All the personnel, dismissed.
All right, everybody, for those of you just joining us, we are wrapping up here something that happened the end of watch bell ringing earlier today for Officer Camilleri. Officer Andrew Camilleri was just 33 years old, a California highway patrolman. His vehicle was hit on a San Francisco Bay Area highway on Christmas Eve, 11:20 p.m. Sunday. His partner, Officer Jonathan Velasquez, was in the driver's seat of the patrol car and suffered minor injuries. Assistant Chief Ernest Sanchez calling the impact so severe that it turned a utility vehicle into a very small, compact vehicle. 22-year-old suspect is a Hayward, California man who police say drifted onto the shoulder and struck the officer's SUV. That unidentified suspect was also hospitalized. It's believed he was under the influence of alcohol and marijuana while driving home from a party when this happened. Again, officials saying all of this. Officer Camilleri leaves behind a wife, 12-year-old daughter, 6-year-old son, and 2-year-old son. So very sad news out of California. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for watching Fox News Now. I always get to show you guys the picture out of New York City, you know, Times Square and that sort of thing, because, you know, regardless of what time of year it is, it's always a very cool picture to see out of there, right? I was wishing I had it right now so I could pull it up for you, but I don't. But they are preparing for, is it Sunday night? New Year's Eve? I believe it is Sunday, right? Yes, it's Sunday night. Hey, let me know, what are your plans for New Year's Eve? You're going to be out with family, friends? Do you do the same thing every year? Are you going to do something new this year? You know, everybody says I like to fire off questions, but it's just because I would like to get to know you guys. So let me know. In the meantime, I have a report to show you out of New York about their New Year's Eve preparations. So let's watch that.
Hundreds of thousands of people will flock here to Times Square to watch the ball drop. Expect the most security ever for the event after 2 terror attacks in as many months. The NYPD is expected to focus even more on nearby car and truck rental locations to prevent any vehicular attacks. Truck restrictions are expected to go into effect earlier than ever before, and more parking garages will be closed in a wider area around Times Square.
You feel secure with the stones they put to protect the streets. There's more security, so I feel safer with them being around the city in subways.
There will also be increased security at office towers and hotels, a response to the Las Vegas shooter who killed 58 shooting through the glass window of his hotel room. Following that mass shooting on October 1st, the worst in U.S. history, Nevada lawmakers approved more than $350,000 for New Year's Eve security on the Vegas Strip. $120,000 was spent last year. There will be 360 National Guard troops on the Vegas Strip, more than double last year. The Sheriff's Department is also getting more help from the Department of Homeland Security.
This year, along with those spotters, they will be accompanied by snipers, individuals in possession of rifles to ensure safety if a threat is recognized.
Outside New York City, Las Vegas's America's Party is the biggest celebration in the country. Expect some 330,000 visitors there to bring on the new year. In New York City, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Did he just say 330,000 visitors? Woo! I hope those going there like crowds. Hey, it's not very often we get to see snow here in the valley. In Arizona, we do. If you're not too familiar with Arizona, we do have ski and snowboard country. There are parts of Arizona where it snows. We do have mountains. I think our highest peak, the San Francisco peak, is actually 12,000 feet elevation. So we do see snow. Arizona is not, the whole state anyway, isn't the way that like movies and TV shows like to predict us. But hey, we're celebrating Snow Week at the Arizona Science Center. So I wanted to show you, it may be a quick but a very fun local report that we had on Fox 10 Phoenix this morning. So
for those of us born and raised here in Phoenix, this stuff is called snow. You can play in it, throw it around, even make these things called snowmen. You normally only see it when the temperatures are freezing, but here in the valley, the Arizona Science Center is working their magic.
We get snow from a company called Ice Now. They came in with several trucks this morning with ice, and they actually chip it right on site.
That's Sari Custer, whose title with the Science Center is, no joke, Vice President of Curiosity. And that's the whole point of this Snow Week event, giving us all the opportunity to learn a little bit more about what this is.
So we're really excited and hope people come for the snow, but stay for the science. We have experiments happening, activities inside the Science Center all week long.
And outside, the chance to have a good time by doing things like pelting your mom with snowballs.
We're going to try to attempt to make a snowman because it's really packable snow.
How fun is that? Better than the real stuff that our friends are dealing with in Pennsylvania right now. But this week, it's our version of snow days, and it's all happening in downtown Phoenix. Liz Kodalik, Fox 10 News.
Aw, thanks so much for that, Liz. That was such a, I like the happy, feel-good, you know, holiday, wintry stories. Yeah, I like it a lot. Not always bad when you see snow and ice, right? Hey, I was just talking about New York City. Let's show you quickly there. This is the Fox headquarters by Rockefeller Center, right across from Radio City Music Hall. You can still see holiday decorations up there. The trees all lit in white light. And then you see a lot of red lights. I think those are tail lights, possibly some brake lights. The American flag there, and another flag right beneath it is, oh, there's the 21st Century Fox flag. You can see it right there, blowing in the wind. So certainly, I don't see any snow on the ground, but it's probably at least chilly. This time of year is very busy for the New York City area. A lot of people want to see it for the holidays, have never been, you know, experience. I believe there's an ice skating rink right there, and just kind of take a look at it. Hey, I'm going to switch you back to the traffic situation we're continuing to see here. Again, this is what appears to be the I-10 westbound ramp at Baseline. So that semi-truck that just turned right, those are the people that are coming off the 10 right there at Baseline and then turning. It appears this semi-truck was trying to get onto Interstate 10. And remember, yesterday I talked about Interstate 10 extensively. So for those of you watching us who aren't familiar with Arizona, the Interstate 10 runs through the Arizona-New Mexico border all the way to the Arizona-California border. So it's probably, if not the most used interstate or highway in our state, it's got to be in the top 2 or 3 because it's also the interstate that connects the Phoenix area to the Tucson area. So, but it definitely looks like crews, like it looks like the semi is stuck, like no reverse or drive is going to move it. And not quite sure, yeah, that looks like an all city, it looks like a towing truck is right there. So definitely looks like it's not movable by the driver or by anybody else. So they're going to need to tow it. Not quite sure if it's wedged. Earlier it appeared like it was more kind of on its side. Just looks like it got stuck. But it's definitely a sticky situation for drivers out that way. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Absolutely, we are going to keep an eye on it. All right, everybody, just into the Fox News Now newsroom, if you want to call it that. Remember, we're located in Phoenix. We just got a report in as ISIS continues to lose more of their territory. Experts warn that the fight against the terrorist organization will continue into 2018. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
2017 has been a successful year for U.S.-backed forces in the fight against ISIS, but military officials warn the fight is far from over.
No, ISIS is not totally defeated in Syria.
While President Trump touts the defeat of ISIS, military officials are warning of the risk the terrorist group still poses abroad. British Army General Major Felix Gedney putting the blame on the Assad regime in Syria, where most of the remaining ISIS strongholds are concentrated.
They seem to be moving with impunity through regime-held territory, showing that the regime is clearly either unwilling or unable to defeat Daesh within their borders.
Russia is now calling on the United States to pull their forces from Syria, as ISIS has lost 98% of their territories, with half being captured since President Trump took office less than a year ago. But Secretary Mattis has confirmed that U.S. troops will remain there to ensure ISIS stays defeated. Major General Gedney also warning that an ISIS presence remains, with some cells going underground as insurgent groups hidden among the population. And the groups are encouraging their followers around the globe to conduct terror attacks during the holidays.
We know they may attempt to work in smaller cells, and they most certainly will continue attempting their acts of terror whenever and wherever possible.
According to the latest U.S. intelligence assessment, fewer than 1,000 ISIS fighters remain in Iraq and Syria, down from 45,000 just 2 years ago. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
All right, Lauren, thanks so much for that report. Again, you are watching Fox News Now. Hey, if you haven't yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You'll be alerted anytime we go live with breaking news. And we do kind of have like our, people were asking me yesterday, we do kind of have our like normal streaming hours, you know, when we know that we're supposed to be up. But hey, any time of the day, if something is major, if you need to know about it, we will let you know about it here on Fox News Now. We have video feeds from across the world. A lot of them are live. But hey, if you weren't with us this morning, Ron Hoon and I talked about it on Fox 10 Extra, which again is channel 45, cable channel 9. And when I started the stream this morning at 9 o'clock Arizona time, I showed you guys this awesome video, and now I'm going to show it to you again. Okay, you ready? Okay, this is not live. Sorry, got kind of loud there. So what you're looking at here is video out of Tel Aviv, where they were trying to break the Guinness World Record for the tallest toy brick tower. Look at this video, guys. There's the measuring tape going down now. Again, parts of this video feed that we got from Tel Aviv, some do have audio, as you just heard, other parts don't. So, but here's the measuring tape, excuse me. I was actually really surprised when we got this footage this morning that look at the color coordination on that thing. It's not like you're just building something tall to build it, you know, to have it be the height. You see words, you see designs and pictures, you see letters in there. I mean, it's just, wow. It's, again, Guinness World Records has not confirmed whether or not they made it, but we're told this is a 118-foot tower. The last record was held in Italy for a 115-foot tower, and that was in 2015. So look at them here with the measuring tape, like saying like, hey, did we make it? Did we make it? Did we do it? Some of you asking me on the YouTube chat if it's Legos. Not quite sure. All we're being told is toy blocks or toy bricks, so. Again, no control over this video. It was recorded earlier, but we know that eventually, look at that, the photographer gets back up close there while they have the measuring tape. I think there's sound here, hang on.
35, 92 centimeters. 35 meters, 92 centimeters.
Okay, Melchior, la crackboard, number one?
Yes, we are the world record of this kind of tower.
Wow.
Can you
tell us your title, who you are, your title.
חברים, אני מכריז ש-35 מטר, 92 סנטימטר, שבירת השיא העולמי של מגדלים מסוג זה. ומודה לכל המשתתפים.
Definitely sounds like lots of celebration there in Tel Aviv. So I think they did it. Now we're just waiting for it to be confirmed. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that they were able to have kind of like the supporting wires on that. Because I mean, you think without it, like a light breeze would knock that thing over and you would have toy bricks everywhere. Did any of you like Lego or still like Lego? If so, what was like the most difficult kit or set you ever did? I know my brother was into Star Wars a lot as a kid, and he would build like the Millennium Falcon and all that jazz. So look at that. I don't know if that's 90 or 0, not quite. And then that can't be inches, because if we're saying 118 feet, it's gotta be taller. Hang on.
So can you repeat what the size is? What the size? The size is 35 meters, 92 centimeters.
35 meters, 92 centimeters is what he just told that photographer. 35 meters, 92 centimeters. And he seems certainly happy and proud about that. Not going to lie. That's pretty cool there. We also have some other video of this. Hang on, let me pull it up for you. So this is when they were, like, this was the first feed that we got of it. They were actually like finishing off the very top part. Like I think putting the final little toy bricks on there. Look at that. Like I said, you got the support wires there. Look at that. Let me know what you think about this. Again, this is one of the portions here where there's no sound coming through from the video feed, but very carefully at the top of that toy brick tower. I'm waiting, everyone, to try to get some new information about the Disneyland power outage, and then I'll bring that footage back up for you. Okay, so this is when they were on the top part, kind of leveling things off. This is the video from the ground. You can see they kind of set up. I don't know if those lights are there specifically for the tower, or I'm not sure. But now you can see how massive, literally, that went from the ground up. And you think about skyscraper. Does anybody know how many stories 118 feet is? Anybody out there? I think, what, the average, like, story is, what, 8 to 10 feet? What do you guys think of this video? It's pretty unique, I think. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hey, thanks for being with us. Hope you're having a great Wednesday afternoon. 2 days out from Christmas now. What's going on in your communities? Anything happening that we should know about? Did any of you watch the Eagle Cam? Remember yesterday around this time I was showing Eagle Cam, and what we had was called a pip, which was like the little hole in the egg before it hatched, the chick hatched. Supposedly Harriet had a successful eaglet there who hatched yesterday, and then today we were on Eagle Cam watch again because they believed that the second egg was going to hatch. I haven't checked up on it in a while, but I'm pretty sure they got a second eaglet. So, you know, if you were wondering, you might want to look at that again. Hey, we're going to go back to this traffic situation out of the Phoenix area. You guys ready? All right, semi-truck still stuck there. You know, it looks like people are finally getting the word there that this is a little headache. So everybody stay safe out there. If you know anybody walking, or excuse me, driving through the area. Hey, on the YouTube chat, people are saying 118 feet is 11 stories. So an 11 to 11-ish, 12-ish, I'm getting. I mean, could you imagine? Made of toy bricks. Wow. Made of toy bricks. Hey, we're going to keep an eye on this for a little bit. While you guys are watching this again, I'm trying to get some additional information as of the situation out of Disneyland. We did find out that they had a power outage there that was affecting Fantasyland and Toontown on a day that the park was near capacity. So probably a lot of upset people there at Disneyland. All right, I'm going to bring that video back up for you all because I know a lot of people are here trying to find out exactly what's going on, especially those here in Arizona or anybody who might have friends or family at the park, because people go from across the world to Disneyland. So let me pull that back up for you. All right, so this is from Skyfox in the Los Angeles area. Because Anaheim is so close. I mean, you can see the crowds there. The park definitely looks pretty packed. It's not at the point where, like, you're not capable of walking, but certainly packed. Again, this video was shot earlier. This is not live. Disneyland tweeting about an hour ago that the park is currently only accepting guests for re-entry. California Adventure Park remains available for people's enjoyment. So that's kind of the entrance there. That's the train. That's where you catch the train. And let me know, have you ever been to Disneyland? Southern California area? They call this the happiest place on earth, but there you see Dumbo not operating. The carousel also not operating. We did see the Matterhorn bobsleds in this video going, and there's a parade right there on like the middle right. I think that's what they're zooming in now here. The parade was going. So when you think about attractions that were affected, again, just talked about the carousel, just talked about Dumbo. Then you've got Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin in Toontown. You've got a little roller coaster there in Toontown as well. The holiday season, very, very busy at Disneyland. It kind of kicks off in October when they start decorating the park for Halloween, and then it just carries through past the new year. And what's amazing to me, again, I'm an Arizona native here who has been to this park plenty of times. Oh, look, Small World's still operating. What's amazing to me is, like, when you're trying to, there's like travel planners, you know, that tell you like the best times to visit the park and that sort of stuff. And they say like October is a slow time. Well, if you've been in October like I have, that is not the case. Matter of fact, I was just there this past October. And I mean, wow, this park, yeah. It's pretty crowded pretty often. Haven't heard of anybody stranded on rides or anybody hurt. So from what we are hearing so far, just an inconvenience to people there at Disneyland. So if you see the green top buildings, that's actually like one of their hotels. And they were just showing California Adventure plus Disneyland there. So now Disneyland's on the top there. You know, as somebody who's gone there so many times in my life, it's still pretty interesting to see these aerials out from there. Just kind of gives you a perspective as to how big the park is, and pretty cool though. All right, everybody, going to kind of switch gears here. Let me take you to the White House because we haven't been able to see this shot very often today. Beautiful there with the sun setting and the lights coming up. Definitely looks like they're already starting to take down the holiday decorations. Hey, are you one of those people that's like, once the holidays are over, you're like, oh, thank goodness, time to get back to normal? Or are you one of those people that's like, no, the holidays are over? Remember, I like trying to get to know you guys. I like asking questions. I like keeping things upbeat and, yeah, and fun. All right, well, we have a report just into Fox News Now about what appears to be a mumps outbreak in Florida. I want to show it to you now.
Easily recognized by the swollen jaw and puffy cheeks, but it's rarely seen.
Because of the vaccine, we don't see it.
That is, until this year, when more than 50 cases were reported in Florida, an increase from years past.
I think it's just that people need to get educated.
Mumps can be preventable. You just have to get the vaccine, and chances are you've already gotten it. Health officials say the vaccine can last a lifetime. The Center for Disease Control says it's about 88% effective when a person gets 2 doses.
We're trying to educate the parents and the community to please vaccinate your children.
Worried that you've caught the airborne virus? Symptoms include
fever, headache, fatigue, loss of appetite.
Similar to many other illnesses, but Dr. Ramos adds within 5 days you'll notice that unmistakable lump on the side of your jaw.
Ideally, yeah, we shouldn't have to worry about it.
Mumps, easily recognized by the swollen jaw and puffy cheeks, but it's rarely seen.
Because of the vaccine, we don't see it.
That is, until this year, when more than 50 cases were reported in Florida, an increase from years past.
I think it's just that people need to get educated.
Mumps can be preventable. You just have to get the vaccine, and chances are you've already gotten it. Health officials say the vaccine can last a lifetime. The Center for Disease Control says it's about 88% effective when a person gets 2 doses.
We're trying to educate the parents and the community to please vaccinate your children.
Worried that you've caught the airborne virus? Symptoms include
fever, headache, fatigue, loss of appetite.
Similar to many other illnesses, but Dr. Ramos adds within 5 days you'll notice that unmistakable lump on the side of your jaw.
Ideally, yeah, we shouldn't have to worry about it.
Mumps, easily recognized by the swollen.
I have never had the mumps, and after watching that report, I couldn't be more grateful. Hey, so remember we've been keeping an eye on the skies, on the roads. Fortunately, haven't heard of anything major, serious happening. Probably just a few crowds here and there. Let me know when you've been out and about in your communities. Is there traffic anywhere? Are the malls crowded? Regular stores crowded? You know, I'm here, so I don't get to be out and about and see what's going on. But hey, yesterday I did have Andrea Robinson here on Fox News Now. We were talking about weather and she was showing me the map, and like I saw how I think it was Billings was like in the -7-degree mark, and that is cold. I have lived before in northern Arizona, which again I'm telling you guys it snows in parts of Arizona, and you know I had those instances with lots of snow and having to get the ice off your windshield and that sort of thing, and that was enough for me. I endured 2 winters, and I mean snow is beautiful, but then it melts and it ices up and you're like, oh goodness. Well, she was talking to me about how I think it was Erie, Pennsylvania, certainly somewhere up there pretty northeast, where she was saying that they were getting like feet of snow, not inches, feet. Well, we actually have a report just filed out of that area that I'd like to share with you.
Even colder weather and more snow predicted across large sections of the northern U.S. from now into the new year. It could bring snow totals to 6 feet in some parts of the Northeast.
All I could do was laugh. You know, it's a little ridiculous, but I keep pecking away at it and we'll get it clear.
Residents of hard-hit Erie, Pennsylvania are now digging out.
It was pretty tough at the end of the driveway. I probably spent a good hour just on the end of the driveway getting through it. Plus it was higher than a snowblower, so take little cuts and eventually you get through it.
This after more than 5 feet of record snowfall in the last couple of days, and even more lake effect snow falling there Wednesday.
Our crews have been out 24/7. That's really hard to keep up with this amount of snow.
Right now, frigid temperatures and below zero wind chills are also prompting hypothermia and frostbite warnings.
What about 10 degrees? You think you can handle that?
I don't know. Might be a little too cold for us. So, I don't know. We'll probably be inside on those days. Lots of movie days.
Wind chill advisories and warnings have now been issued in more than a dozen states, from New England to the Northern Plains and across the Great Lakes. In Wisconsin, the Coast Guard has now launched ice-breaking operations in Green Bay, and a drawbridge there became stuck in the open position Wednesday, with officials calling the weather a factor. And in northwest Indiana, a small plane slid off the runway early Wednesday. The pilot and a passenger suffered minor injuries. The aircraft overshot the runway during landing. A wind chill advisory was in effect when the plane landed. In New York, I'm Fox News Chief Meteorologist Rick Reichmuth.
Hey guys, it's hard for me not to brag. I mean, this time of year being in the Phoenix area, let me show you what it looks like outside here. Now, one of these days I'll figure out exactly which mountain this camera of ours is on, but yeah, this is Arizona at the moment. Beautiful, isn't it? The sun, we do have some green out there. I know it looks kind of dry and dusty, deserty, sandy area. But hey, how many of you were with us yesterday when we started talking about Eagle Cam and showing Eagle Cam? And I mentioned it a little bit today. And I was told that you could actually see the eaglets, which is why I pulled it back up. But now it looks like either the mom or the dad is on them, around them. I don't know. How do they protect those eagles once they're born? But hey, let's take a look. Here we go. It looks like parts of the shell are there. E10 was already enjoying a meal while E11, its sibling, worked its way out of its egg. What do you guys think about? I'm telling you, these like animal cams. We had giraffe cams and yeah, pretty cool though. I'm just here to see the eaglets. Anybody else want to see the little hatchlings? Again, this live feed being provided now from Fox 35 WOFL. They are out of Orlando. So this is on the Orlando Facebook page. Okay, bear with me, everybody, please, because I've heard that I actually have cool video, but it might take me a second to pull it up. All right, I can't have you watch Eagle Cam and not show you the fun, cool stuff. Not quite sure if there's audio here, so forgive me if it comes on really loud, but I'm going to play it for you. Oh, here it is. Oh my goodness. Not quite sure if that's mom or dad there, but look how cute. Mom and dad took turns for a month sitting on these eggs, more than a month. And it appears their work paid off because now they have 2 eaglets. Told the other one, this one's sibling hatched yesterday. Wow. I could just watch this all day. Somebody on our chat just said cuteness overload. I really could just loop this and watch this all day. All right, I'll switch you back to live Eagle Cam. Not a whole lot of action going on here. Can't see the babies. I would like to see them both together, both eaglets together. That's what I'd really like to see. Both of the Fox affiliates in Florida, I believe it was Orlando and Tampa Bay, have been keeping a close eye on this the past couple of days. And I feel like they timed it right. You know, we got it. Because didn't it seem like with draft cam it took like forever? And this, it's like they knew the time was coming, it was going to happen, and they were on it. Very cool. Again, not quite sure if this is mom or dad here now. Not quite sure which one this is. Hey, thanks so much for watching Fox News Now. We appreciate you being here, and anytime you tune in. My name's Pilar Arias. I am the newest member of the Fox News Now team. We work to bring you news and stories as they are happening. That's why we're called Now, Fox News Now, because we know you want it as soon as it's happening. And we do our best to let you know. So I'm actually going to switch you over really quick here to the traffic situation we had in Phoenix. It looks like that semi-truck is gone. Did not see when it was towed out of the way, but people are able to get back onto Interstate 10 westbound there. And good news for everybody involved. Remember, we're keeping an eye on the roads and the skies. We have the sun setting on the East Coast. Going to show you some beautiful shots here. Take a look at that, our nation's capital. So I would, you know, everybody says they ask questions. Some like it, some don't. But hey, how often do you watch us? Because earlier today, and there's a reason I'm asking this. Earlier today, we had a picture of this building where I think the sun was being blocked so much by clouds that this building was completely dark in the middle of the day. Like, you could see the clouds around it, but no sun was shining on it. And normally when it's dark surrounding the Capitol, you get a shot like this where you see the light on the inside and it glowing, and that makes sense. But it was pretty interesting earlier, actually. Here's New York City again, where they're preparing for the New Year's Eve ball drop, not here at Rockefeller Center area, but in Times Square. Does anybody know when they take down like all the holiday decorations and stuff? That's probably the time when there's less tourists in the area. Take another look at the White House here. Yeah, definitely took down some of that holiday garland there. Very cool. We have some people on our chat saying they love watching us. Well, we certainly appreciate you all being here as well. All right, I'm going to replay for you all. It was only about a brief, less than 4 minutes when we were actually able to see President Trump in Florida. He was addressing some firefighters, so certainly not all vacation for the president in Florida. So let's replay that for you.
And it included the repeal of the individual mandate, which is a disaster. That's where you have the privilege of paying a lot of money so that you don't have to buy health insurance. So that's the most unpopular thing, which most people thought should have been unconstitutional. But we repealed it, and we got ANWR, which is going to be one of the great drilling sites of the world, one of the great oil reserves. We had a lot of things. But we had a lot of legislation passed.
Again, the president was not microphoned up when this was shot, so it's kind of hard to hear, but
We had a lot of legislation passed. They were saying that if we got this one done, we would have succeeded with legislation. But I believe we have, and you'll have to ask those folks, but I think they know the real answer. We have more legislation passed, including the record was Harry Truman a long time ago, and we broke that record. So we have a lot done. In addition, we have a lot of executive orders. We've got a lot of the rules and regulations. People suffered from that to a certain extent too, in all fairness. But a lot of the regulations were voided, and now you can go back to work and do your jobs. In the case of builders, in the case
just want to let everybody know we have no control over this audio. It doesn't appear like the president is what we call mic'd up. He doesn't have a microphone on him, so we're listening as best we can.
She said we're very proud of that. Okay, that's one of the reasons the stock market is up, at a record level. It's a record level. We broke it 84 times this year. The stock market hit a new high 84 times since we won the election on November 8th of last year. So that's something we can all be proud of, and that makes you all very smart. And your family say, boy, you're a great investor, right? When you have your numbers go up and your stocks go up and everything else. You know, when the stock market goes up, that affects everybody. Not just, you know, you think of the rich, you think of the big. The fact is it affects everybody because people own stocks, whether it's in 401ks or otherwise. So it's really great. Yeah, we'll get that signed. It's going to be signed.
We actually have 15 of those grant-funded firefighters from last year's grant.
Oh, good. You have 15 of them. You know what we're talking about? Hey, come on.
Graduated grant.
That's great.
Everybody, just wanted to replay that for you really quick. Again, that was President Donald Trump in Florida speaking to firefighters while he's spending some time with his family down in Mar-a-Lago for the holidays. So certainly not all, you know, fun down there, not all vacation mode. Just wanted to show you all that. Taking you back here to a live look at Eagle Camp. Hey, if this is the type of stuff that you guys really like, there is an app to watch it, I found out, on Apple and Android devices. So, yeah. Trying to take you guys now. There was like a brief press conference today about the New Year's Eve ball in New York City. So I'm going to bring that up for you really quick so we can take a look, see. All right, so I'm guessing this is a replica of it because obviously it looks model scale. And I think that they were just trying to show you, you know, how it, just essentially how it changes colors. And it's cool how you can see all the triangles that the ball is made up of and just kind of the overall design. And there's sometimes when the colors illuminate so brightly that you can't even see the pattern on the ball. I think it's pretty cool. Look at that. Which of those is your favorite color? So we have like purple, blue. This is kind of like red, goldish, greenish. Yeah. They're preparing though. Are you going to be in New York City for New Year's Eve, or do you know anybody that is? If you've been yourself before, let me know about your experience. What was it like? Very cool, right? Very cool. So then they sent us footage of them actually like putting it up. So here we go. Again, this was sent to us earlier. We have no control of how the video looks or moves, but you can, that looks like it's not, maybe a flagpole, not quite sure. But they are getting everything ready. Look at that. There it is, the actual ball. There it is. Parts of this video do not include audio. I think we do get some sound later on in it. Still keeping an eye on the Disneyland situation while we're watching this. Just want to let you all know I am monitoring other news as it comes in.
good.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do one from the top. Yep. Alright guys, we're gonna do it one more time, start to finish. So if you want to be in the middle, that's cool.
Are they gonna put any crystals in?
Yeah, we're gonna do that one more time, yep.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing this.
Is this ball drop something that you and or your family or friends watch every year? I know for a lot of people it kind of really makes it feel like the new year, but look at the different parts and pieces of that, kind of like big old LED like boards. And look at, there's handles on that. I mean, it's like inner working stuff like this that you might not get to see, and all the work that goes into doing this. Technology must have progressed for this New Year's Eve ball, like, extremely well.
No, he just did it again.
Andrew, let me know when I can go in.
Grab that both, Rob.
Yes, brother. More, I'm gonna do one to the hand.
That's the wide lens.
It is.
Can you take the picture of all of us?
Do you remember last year? You guys are awesome. I love you guys.
I want another one of those if you can do it after. I can't get that. Dude, honestly, I can't get any of these off. Did you hear what it said?
Pretty cool stuff, right? I mean, what do you all think? There's only about 45 seconds left of this video, and then I'm gonna move on to something else.
Let that be a lesson to you. Zach, never try.
Yeah, you're fine. Hopefully this is the last one.
Hey guys, you don't have to do all of them. I would say, I would agree. Just do what you have. Okay, great. You're fine.
We'll put them in slow.
All right, everybody, thanks so much for being with us this Wednesday afternoon. Do you know how social we are? We are on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Fox News Now, we have our own Twitter account. Fox 10 Phoenix has both Twitter and Facebook, and then Fox News Now also has its own Facebook page as well. Myself, I have a professional Facebook page. You can find me by searching for Pilar Arias, and then Mike Page is very active on Twitter. So yeah, you can find us, and there's other ways to talk to us besides the YouTube chat. And I keep pointing over here because that's where I'm watching the chat on YouTube. Hey, so as we're rounding out the year here, we're gonna kind of be, you know, you see a lot of like the year-end stories, or you hear a lot of like year-end things like, you know, the top stories of 2017 or the top baby names of 2017. Well, we do have top streams here. We have events here at Fox News Now where the most people have watched. So I'm actually going to bring you one for about the next 15 minutes. So this was President Trump at the CIA headquarters back in, this was the beginning of the year. We posted this on January 21st, and there was more than 1 million views of this event. So that's why we are wrapping up the year by showing you some of our #1 streams. And hey, let your friends and family know about us, you know, because if news happens, we have it here for you. So I'm going to take you guys to that now. Really quickly, though, I want to show you the White House before I bring that up. All right, here we go.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank everybody, very, very special people. And it is true, this is my first stop, officially. We're not talking about the balls, and we're not talking about even the speeches, although they did treat me nicely on that speech yesterday. I always call them the dishonest media, but they treated me nicely. But I want to say that there is nobody that feels stronger about the intelligence community and the CIA than Donald Trump. There is nobody. And the wall behind me is very, very special. We've been touring for quite a while. And I'll tell you what, 29? I can't believe it. Oh, 28. We better reduce it. But that's amazing. And we really appreciate what you've done in terms of showing us something very special. And your whole group. These are really special, amazing people. Very, very few people could do the job you people do. And I want to just let you know, I am so behind you. And I know maybe sometimes you haven't gotten the backing that you've wanted. And you're going to get so much backing. Maybe you're going to say, please don't give us so much backing. Mr. President, please, we don't need that much backing. But you're going to have that, and I think everybody in this room knows it. You know, the military and the law enforcement, generally speaking, but all of it, but the military gave us tremendous percentages of votes. We were unbelievably successful in the election with getting the vote of the military. And probably almost everybody in this room voted for me, but I will not ask you to raise your hands if you did. But I would guarantee a big portion, because we're all on the same wavelength, folks. We're all on the same wavelength, right? Who knows? Took Brian about 30 seconds to figure that one out, right? Because we know we're on the same wavelength. But we're going to do great things. We're going to do great things. We've been fighting these wars for longer than any wars we've ever fought. We have not used the real abilities that we have. We've been restrained. We have to get rid of ISIS. We have to get rid of ISIS. We have no choice. Radical Islamic terrorism, and I said it yesterday, has to be eradicated, just off the face of the earth. This is evil. This is evil. And, you know, I can understand the other side. We can all understand the other side. There can be wars between countries. There can be wars. You can understand what happened. This is something nobody can even understand. This is a level of evil that we haven't seen. And you're going to go to it, and you're going to do a phenomenal job, but we're going to end it. It's time. It's time right now to end it. You have somebody coming on who is extraordinary. You know, for the different the other side, they can be secretary of this and secretary of that, and all of these great positions. I'd see 5, 6, 7, 8 people. And we had a great transition. We had an amazing team of talent. And by the way, General Flynn is right over here. Put up your hand, Mike. What a good guy. And Reince and my whole group. Reince, you know, right? They don't care about Reince. He's like this political guy that turned out to be a superstar, right? We don't have to talk about Reince. But we did. We had just such a tremendous success. So when I'm interviewing all of these candidates that Reince and his whole group is putting in front, it went very, very quickly. And in this case, went so quickly, because I would see 6 or 7 or 8 for Secretary of Agriculture, who we just named the other day, Sonny Perdue, former governor of Georgia, fantastic guy. But I'd see 6, 7, 8 people for a certain position. Everybody wanted it. But I met Mike Pompeo, and it was the only guy I met. I didn't want to meet anybody else. I said, cancel everybody else. Cancel. Now, he was approved essentially, but they're doing little political games with me. You know, he was one of the 3. Now, last night, as you know, General Mattis, fantastic guy, and General Kelly got approved. And Mike Pompeo was supposed to be in that group. It was going to be the 3 of them. Can you imagine all of these guys? People respect, you know, they respect that military sense. All my political people, they're not doing so well. The political people aren't doing so well, but you. We're going to get them all through, but some will take a little bit longer than others. But Mike was literally, I had a group of we have 9 different people. Now, I must say, I didn't mind canceling 8 appointments. That wasn't the worst thing in the world. But I met him, and I said, he is so good. #1 in his class at West Point. Now, I know a lot about West Point. And to be I'm a person that very strongly believes in academics. In fact, every time I say I had an uncle who was a great professor at MIT for 35 years, who did a fantastic job in so many different ways academically. He was an academic genius. And then they say, there's Donald Trump, an intellectual. Trust me, I'm like a smart person. And I recognized immediately. So he was #1 at West Point, and he was also essentially #1 at Harvard Law School. And then he decided to go into the military, and he ran for Congress. And everything he's done has been a home run. People like him, but much more importantly to me, everybody respects him. And when I told Paul Ryan that I want to do this, I would say he may be the only person that was not totally thrilled, right, Mike? Because he said, I don't want to lose this guy. But you will be getting a total star. You're going to be getting a total gem. This is a gem. And I just... You'll see. You'll see. And many of you know him anyway, but you're going to see. And again, we have some great people going in, but this one is something going to be very special, because this is one, if I had to name the most important, this would certainly be perhaps, you know, in certain ways you could say my most important. You do the job like everybody in this room is capable of doing. There can be, and the generals are wonderful, and the fighting is wonderful, but if you give them the right direction, boy, does the fighting become easier, and boy, do we lose so fewer lives and win so quickly. And that's what we have to do. We have to start winning again. You know, when I was young, and when I was, of course, I feel young. I feel like I'm 30, 35, 39. Somebody said, are you young? I said, I think I'm young. You know, I was stopping when we were in the final month of that campaign, 4 stops, 5 stops, 7 stops, speeches in front of 25, 30,000 people, 15,000, 19,000 from stop to stop. I feel young. But when I was young, and I think we're all sort of young, when I was young, we were always winning things in this country. We'd win with trade. We'd win with wars. At a certain age, I remember hearing from one of my instructors, the United States has never lost a war. And then after that, it's like, we haven't won anything. We don't win anymore. The old expression, to the victor belong the spoils. You remember I always used to say, keep the oil. I wasn't a fan of Iraq. I didn't want to go into Iraq.
But I will tell you, when we were in, we got out wrong. And I always said, in addition to that, keep the oil. Now, I said it for economic reasons. But if you think about it, Mike, if we kept the oil, you probably wouldn't have ISIS because that's where they made their money in the first place. So we should have kept the oil. But, okay. Maybe you'll have another chance. But the fact is, should have kept the oil. I believe that this group is going to be one of the most important groups in this country toward making us safe, toward making us winners again, toward ending all of the problems. We have so many problems that are interrelated that we don't even think of, but interrelated to the kind of havoc and fear that this sick group of people has caused. So I can only say that I am with you 1,000%. And the reason you're my first stop is that, as you know, I have a running war with the media. They are among the most dishonest human beings on earth. Right? And they sort of made it sound like I had a feud with the intelligence community. And I just want to let you know, the reason you're number one stop, it is exactly the opposite. Exactly. And they understand that, too. And I was explaining about the numbers. We did a thing yesterday, the speech. Did everybody like the speech? You had to like it. So I've been given good reviews. But we had a massive field of people. You saw that. Packed. I get up this morning, I turn on one of the networks, and they show an empty field. I said, wait a minute. I made a speech. I looked out. The field it looked like 1.5 million people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there. And they said Donald Trump did not draw well. I said, it was.
All right, everybody, there's only a few minutes left in this, but again, we are kind of restreaming the top streams of 2017. This was one of them I could get in for you today. 1.13 million views in January of this year. President Trump at the CIA headquarters, or giving a CIA headquarters statement.
It was amazing, and then it became really sunny. Then I walked off, and it poured right after I left. It poured, but you know, we have something that's amazing because we had, honestly, it looked like 1.5 million people, whatever it was, but it went all the way back to the Washington Monument. And I turn on the thing, and by mistake, I get this network. And it showed an empty field. And it said, we drew 250,000 people. Now, that's not bad, but it's a lie. We had 250,000 people literally around, in the little bowl that we constructed. That was 250,000 people. The rest of the, 20-block area all the way back to the Washington Monument was packed. So we caught them, and we caught them in a beauty, and I think they're going to pay a big price. We had another one yesterday, which was interesting. In the Oval Office, there's a beautiful statue of Dr. Martin Luther King. And I also happen to like Churchill, Winston Churchill. I think most of us like Churchill. Doesn't come from our country, but had a lot to do with it, helped us, real ally. And as you know, Churchill's statue was taken out, the bust. And as you also probably have read.
All right, everybody, I don't have very much longer with you guys this afternoon. I know, I feel like every day I'm here, our time together goes by so much faster, and there's only so much news and information I can get in for you. Hey, again, I've showed a little tour before about as to how the inner workings of this whole thing happens, but take a look. Another camera shot. Over there is the Fox 10 Phoenix newsroom. It's my right, but it might look like it's behind me. Not quite behind me, but hi, everybody. And then I got another camera shot here for you. That's to my right. Hi, everybody. So yeah, we kind of we do the whole show here. We kind of bring up all the video feeds. So that's why sometimes you see the technical difficulties and that sort of thing. But anyway, I want to update everybody on the situation again at Disneyland in California. These are not live shots. This is from earlier. Again, this feed is earlier. Not like in line for. Okay. So we just got a tweet. Disneyland tweeted, parks update. We have experienced a power outage near Mickey's Toontown and Fantasyland. We are working diligently to restore power to the affected areas as soon as possible. Select offerings are now available, such as Toontown and It's a Small World holiday. Park near capacity today. Lots of people visit during the holidays. Again, as an Arizona native, I've been there plenty of times. I wouldn't exactly, you know. Yeah, I've been there quite often. Anyway, the last tweet before the one I just read to you, which was put out 19 minutes ago, said that Disneyland Park was only accepting guests for re-entry. So when we showed that large group outside of the park gates, that's probably what it was. Is people trying to get back in, not people just arriving for the day, buying their tickets, and then trying to get in. California Adventure Park was not affected during any of this, so people were able to enjoy stuff there. So yeah, just wanted you guys to know the latest there. Have you guys ever been to Disneyland? Oop, that's the wrong video there. Hang on. See what I mean with the snafus? All right, here we go. There we go. So you could see the large crowds in the park. And again, you know, people pay a lot of money to get into Disneyland, so it might have affected quite a few people today. But you know, just parts of the park. You had Fantasyland and Toontown affected. Pretty cool aerials out of Anaheim. There were some rides. I'm seeing people in the chat. All right, so just a brief recap for you all before I head out for the day. We're of course going to have more news now tomorrow. Disneyland tweeted 2 hours ago that they were only accepting guests for re-entry. Disneyland California Adventure was just fine 21 minutes ago. They updated again, saying they experienced a power outage near Mickey's Toontown and Fantasyland, and they were working diligently to restore power to the affected areas as soon as possible. Select offerings now available at Toontown, and It's a Small World holiday. So it seems like they're still not back to normal there. Still not quite back to normal, but they still had parades. A lot of the parks still operating. We saw the Matterhorn bobsleds going. So lots of holiday cheer and magic still going on there. Hey everybody, thanks so much for being with us again. If you're watching now and you're not yet a YouTube subscriber, please hit that button. Anytime news happens and breaks and we go live, you'll be alerted and you'll be able to watch us right away. More news now tomorrow. I promise you that we will be back tomorrow. And stay in touch with us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, we're there. Take you back to that Disneyland video, because it's pretty cool. All right, everybody, have a great afternoon, and we will see you tomorrow.